All right, today marks the final day of the Pacific Air Show in Southern California, a major showcase of U.S. military aircraft and defense capabilities. While more than 500,000 people are expected to attend the annual event, these same fighter jets also play a critical role in real-world missions. One of these missions took place just last week when the U.S. intercepted Russian bombers and fighter jets that flew into Alaska's air defense space. CNN correspondent Julia Vargas-Jones is joining me right now from Huntington Beach with more. And Julia, you found out firsthand how U.S. air defenses are keeping Americans safe.
Yeah, we did. You know, a lot of people here today are getting to get a very close look at some of these planes. I will say, because of the government shutdown, a lot of the military pilots that we got to see and got to be with and talk to, and you see in the piece, they're not here today. The Canadian and the British Air Force instead showing up in full force here, Fred. We are going to see in just a few minutes some of those pilots jumping out of one of these planes just right here next to us. But take a look at what we saw from the air.
Aircraft, this is an armed air defense fighter on guard. You have been intercepted.
From the cockpit of a small twin-engine plane over California, this is what it sounds like when the U.S. military intercepts an aircraft that has violated restricted airspace.
If you do not cooperate, you will be fired upon.
We're in the King Air. We're the main target. So now look on your left side. The F-15s are on their way up.
Then, one fighter jet emerges from the clouds.
Okay, second one's right behind them, doing the same thing.
It is a simulation, but real intercepts by the North American Airspace Defense Command happen almost daily. Often when civilian pilots stray into temporary flight restrictions around the president, major sporting events, or global summits. Less common, but not unusual, military planes. Last week, NORAD intercepted 4 Russian fighter jets in Alaska's Air Defense Identification Zone. This was not seen as a threat, according to NORAD. Fighter pilots now approach as they try to assess why our pilots would not be responding to their warnings.
Does it look like a hijack? Are the pilots unconscious? They can see if there's any damage to the airplane. Something's going on there.
It is unbelievable how close these F-15s are to our King Air. I can see inside the cockpit there, and the captain just informed us that those are live weapons.
But firing those weapons is the last thing the pilots want. Their job is to make sure a warning is enough.
Oh, what was that?
So that's the jet wash, and that's to get the pilot's attention.
It's an escalation maneuver, sometimes used with flares, designed to force a response and establish control. This is as far as the simulation will go.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Back on the ground, we meet one of the pilots.
I mean, it felt to me like you were about to hit us, right?
Well, and what our goal is to move to a safe distance. So thinking closer to that 1,000 feet, and then slowly but surely, as safety dictates, we'll kind of move in closer and closer. Okay.
Lieutenant Colonel Brandon says the protocols are the same, whether it's a lost weekend pilot or a foreign jet probing U.S. defenses.
What are you looking for as you're trying to assess the situation?
What I'm trying to do is try to build that 3D picture, or that God's eye view of where I am and where they are, and how I can maneuver in relationship to now get my aircraft, just like you saw, right tucked in tight in what we would call close formation. So that's what I'm trying to do, is use their words to build a picture in my mind, and then use my sensors to now mesh those two and then execute whatever the best game plan would be.
And Fred, I'm hearing some of those pilots coming above us right now. Those F-15 pilots will be part of the teams that will be monitoring the skies here in California in a series of major events that are upcoming, 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. We have the Olympics coming up, the World Cup. This is what they were trying to drill home, is that it is really important for those teams to be fully trained. Look, it costs up to $30,000 more or less to keep those planes in the skies for just 1 hour. So you can see how important those training hours are for those pilots and how important that safety of our skies it is for the United States.
Right, and given all that in just a very short amount of time, it will indeed potentially be a very busy airspace. Great point of view. Julia Vargas Jones, thanks for bringing it to us. Appreciate it.